What up, y'all? It's your boy R to the A to the S. Yes, Roz here with Receiver Cost Law. Today here to talk about, of course, DJ Official, his legacy, and some personal reflections on his career, him as a person. First of all, when I heard about the death, could not help but think about Jay Dilla, somebody who died 10 years ago. Had a disease that was rare, similar to Official. Think about how not only how these men lived, but how they died. Part of what makes Jay Dilla's story so amazing is that for him, of course, music is what he lived for, and even in his dying state, couldn't talk. He was still in his hospital room, making beats, sending messages through his last album, Donuts. And you look at somebody like DJ Official, different perspective, a believer, somebody who realized that life wasn't about things, but of course it was centered around God, his family, and just enjoying life, even to his dying, his last days. Of course, everybody's probably read the tweets and how he was, a man that was full of faith, full of hope, who had a right perspective on suffering and what life is all about. So I look at these two men, both producers, both have legacies, but how in some senses they were similar, in some senses they were vastly different. Now looking at the legacy, of course, of DJ Official, you have to think about like a DJ in general. Look at the various elements of hip hop, and of course, the DJ is a part of that. And even in today's hip hop, you look at the popular rappers, your Cole, your Kendricks, Future, your Drakes, and even within that, you look at people who impact the culture. One of the most popular people, of course, is DJ Khaled. A DJ, a producer. You look at our genre. Of course, you can look at the most popular people. Lecrae, of course, your NFs, people who are in this culture but making a little noise maybe outside of the 116 quote unquote culture. And I say 116 as in not as the record label, Rage Records, but 116 in terms of what some people call Christian hip hop. And you look at the people who impact the culture. You think about somebody like a DJ Wado. I mean, he has a major voice, a major influence. So the DJ is a very important person in hip hop. And you look at the legacy of DJ Official, he was able to do something that a lot of people could not do. And that, of course, is be able to transition, be able to go across eras. Once the cross movement era ended, for a lot of people, that would be it. Particularly for a DJ. But he was able to transform himself, hop on, arguably another even hotter, a more impactful label movement with Reach Records. So his legacy of longevity is something that I think really stands out for him and his legacy from a musical standpoint. Now I'm about halfway done, but from personal reflections, I first encountered, and wasn't a fan of DJ Official. I definitely had interactions with DJ Official, which I'm about to discuss. But I remember our first interaction was on this hip hop board called Hip Hop Song. Some of you might be heard of it. Some of you might have even been on it. But it was basically a message board where people will post things about Christian hip hop, music, news, etc., etc. And I remember back in 2000, Roz being Roz, I made some comments about the cross movement and their change. And out of the blue, I get an email. How DJ Official got my email, I don't know. Anyway, I get this email from, I can't remember exactly, but I remember it was like Mad Sci, some numbers, at AOL.com. And he just pretty much, expressed his disagreement with my opinion on some of the beats he made and things of that sort. And of course, me being me, I gave my opinion. Did a little, there was no Twitter exchange back then, so email exchange. And that was that. Now, fast forward a couple years later, Cross Movement was on tour here in Detroit. And, I remember, back in those days, Cross Movement had a DJ. And I was totally surprised at that. Like, they have a DJ now? And, during the quote-unquote halftime, while they were, I guess, in the back, getting ready for the next set, he was out there spinning records, scratching, DJing. And he put on a record that kind of surprised a lot of us in the audience. And that was New Breed's song off of DJ Madge album, What's My Name? Now you might say, why is that surprising? Well, this was in the midst of the quote-unquote, whatever you want to say, differences of opinion on ministry, what ministry is, how we should be talking with non-believers. And people know, the Tunnerettes and Cross Movement had a difference of opinion on how ministry should be done. And here he is, the Cross Movement DJ playing Tunnerettes. So it was just like kind of surprising. And so afterwards, I decided I was going to challenge my introvertness and try to introduce myself to Official. And went up to him. He was friendly and nice. I'm Raj from Hip Hop Zone. This was before, Proceed with Carson blog. He was like, oh yeah, and we started, Pound, started talking about Christian hip hop, started talking about, music, things of that sort. And this was pretty much a trend that happened throughout the years, Even when, he went to Reach, I would try to stay afterwards. Basically, like, the DJ is like the last person to leave, at least to the shows I went to. And, I'll stay afterwards, talk with Official, come to Detroit, small talk, chit chat, talk about, CHH, etc., etc. And I remember probably our last, live conversation. I believe he was DJing for Trip Lee, and he was talking about Flame and how he and Flame, I didn't know this, were just kicking back ideas on, one of his albums. Talking about what made classic albums classic. From your, from secular, like Stevie Wonder, things of that sort. And we were talking about his album and the mission. And I was just, to quote, Armand Wake Up, I was really nerding out because I did not know that he made the beat for Life. What is it called? Nothing Without You, I believe, or Life is Something to Know You, with him, Lecrae and JR. That beat sounded just like a JR beat. And y'all to watch this show, I'm a big JR stan. And for DJ Official to be able to recreate a JR beat and not me be able to tell that it was actually him and that JR, that was just pretty amazing. And so that was pretty much our last conversation together. Now we did have another conversation to 2012. Did not end well, and that was actually our last conversation together. Unfortunately, I was not able to, reconcile with DJ Official before he passed. That's of course is a regret. But nonetheless, you try to remember the good times. And even though, it's just small conversations, just be able to talk with Official after, shows and talk about CHH was a great time. Now, finally closing out, I want to talk about my favorite 3 Official beats. I'm not saying these are the best beats. I'm just talking about my personal favorite DJ Official beats. For me, it's The Truth, Please, off his debut album. As I already discussed with y'all, Life is the Note, Nothing Without You, JR, and DJ Official. And I gotta go with, Trip Lee's Prognosis. Even though that was a joint beat, that's still probably one of my favorite DJ Official beats. And he has a lot in this category, but those are probably my 3 favorite DJ Official beats. Now, a little bonus that I'll have to put on there would be Lecrae's Good Life, because I didn't know DJ Official produced it. It didn't sound like, I remember I asked him about that as well. I was like, that doesn't sound like a DJ Official beat. So those are probably my favorite 4 DJ Official beats. But yeah, just continue, pray for his friends, his family. Quote Stephen Levi, don't forget about the DJ, don't forget about his legacy. Do look forward. I'm sure Wado's gonna put a little tribute together, so I do look forward to that, man. So yeah, man, proceed with Caution Blog. And I know I retired to Kobe Sucks, but in honor of DJ Official, we're gonna put that on there. He was not a Kobe fan, so in honor of DJ Official, this is Proceed with Caution Blog. Kobe Sucks, and I'm out.